Hello and welcome. Today we will talk about a very important topic, and that is sustainability. Unfortunately, despite the fact that this topic is regularly discussed on television, on newspaper, in the classroom, in training rooms, in operations management type of workshops and events, and even classrooms in the universities, we still have a long way to go to make our workplaces more sustainable and hopefully the world a better place for you and I, but also for our future generations. So in terms of sustainability, we'll talk about the ethical and socially responsible dimensions of sustainability as far as our class is concerned. It is now normal for almost all businesses to practice environmental responsibility as well as sustainability. The reality is that environmental global issues actually have certain business consequences that are at times beneficial and at times, unfortunately, they're not beneficial to business if we don't take proactive steps to make sure we do good for the environment as well as to the needs of all relevant stakeholders. So businesses must ethically lead in places where government provides no laws, no regulations, or environmental protection in sustainability for us as human beings and as professional business owners and entrepreneurs and managers and employees. So this topic of sustainability focuses on how to integrate ethics into strategic business decisions and how sometimes inaction concerning the natural environment creates a host of ethical problems for any business, for any department, for any organization. So as part of the topic of sustainability, we will outline some of the key issues and risks in making business decisions if those decisions affect the natural environment that you and I live in. We will be identifying issues and risks which provide opportunities for responsible individual and organizational responses to promote sustainability in every element of our operations. We will examine the concept of sustainability and the concerns of various stakeholders about the future. And those stakeholders could be not only you and I as employees, but also as stockholders, as investors, as vendors, as suppliers, as community inhabitants, as government officials, as union members, and so on. And ultimately, we will try to link sustainability to stakeholder orientation that considers the ethical as well as financial performance of organizations. Firms that do adopt a stakeholder orientation in their sustainability initiatives will need to conduct a stakeholder assessment in environmental audits to ensure that they are actually meeting the stakeholder needs while not overlooking financial or economic performance of the organization. So there has to be a fine balance between the two so organizations do not go bankrupt, but in the meantime we don't want organizations to pollute the environment and obviously not be sustainable. So let us talk about sustainability, and we'll talk about it from the perspective of the textbook authors. So in this textbook, again, chapter 12, you'll see a lot of good material, updated information from United Nations, and also from the perspective of academicians and practitioners regarding the topic of sustainability in various philosophies that have been explored on how every single operation in a business environment can be more sustainable. So do look through this chapter. It's a good jump start for understanding the concerns that you and I have, but also that all stakeholders tend to have regarding the operations of businesses. Let us start by defining sustainability and what do we mean by sustainable development. Well, sustainability is the potential for long-term well-being of the natural environment, which can include the biological entities as well as the mutually beneficial interactions among nature, individuals, companies, and business strategies that obviously provide a service or a product for people who use our products as business people. Sustainable development has become a very, very top concern for most businesses because it involves meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their own needs. If you look at the United Nations definition of sustainability, sustainable development is basically very, very much the same or very similar in terms of the concepts and philosophies that they present to you and I. Sustainability can have different definitions, of course, particularly in different cultures. The Brundtland Report, which was developed by the United Nations World Commission on Environmental and Development, views sustainable development in terms of environmental, economic, and social well-being for both the current generation, which is you and I, as well as future generations, which will be occupying this space after you and I depart this world. So how is sustainability relating to ethical decision-making and social responsibility? Well, sustainability, like social responsibility, attempts to maximize the positive and minimize the negative impact of everything we do on our stakeholders. So therefore, sustainability issues tend to fit our stakeholder orientation model that we've talked about in the past. Corporate social responsibility creates long-term favorable stakeholder responses, and it can increase employees' company identification and their commitment and level of pride that they take with the organization, as long as the company is truly sustainable in its operations. And obviously you have to say it and preach it, but also practice it. If you say one thing and do another, again, employees will experience that cognitive dissonance where they may not necessarily agree with what they're doing, but because they're your employees, they do what you ask them to do. So if that cognitive dissonance is present in their minds, they will not take pride and they will not be committed to the organization. So in terms of definitions, it's important to differentiate between what experts mean by social responsibility and what experts mean by sustainability. Social responsibility is maximizing positive and minimizing negative impacts of your services and products on the relevant stakeholders. Sustainability, on the other hand, includes the assessment and improvement of business strategies, economic sectors, work practices, technologies, and lifestyles, and the maintaining of the natural environment. We all have a responsibility to be sustainable in all of our operations. Corporate Social Responsibility Report refers to a sustainability agenda that can create long-term favorable stakeholder responses for your organization. Sustainability, social responsibility, and business ethics should not be used interchangeably because, again, they are different concepts. So be very careful in terms of which concept you're referring to when you're writing and when you're speaking to other stakeholders on behalf of your organization. With regards to ethical decisions affecting sustainability as a component of social responsibility, this visual should be able to help you a little bit. We start on the left side here thinking about the ethical issue awareness. What are some of the ethical issues that we as employees, professionals, and managers must be aware of in regards to our organization and industry? And some of those examples of social responsibility concerns that we should be aware of include social issues, well-being of your employees, your responsibilities in terms of regulations and laws in the local environment or in the nation, sustainability of our operations, and to what extent we are leaving a negative footprint in everything we do in every city, every area, or every department. We should also be aware of philanthropy. To what extent are we involved in it? And also about consumer protection in corporate governance structures. So those social responsibility concerns in how we decide about going about each of those determines what kind of decisions we make with regards to the quality of the products we offer and the services we offer, and the efficiency associated with them with regards to sustainability in the environment. Based on the decisions that we make, obviously, we will be evaluated according to the outcome of those decisions from our stakeholders. So how our stakeholders evaluate us is determined by our awareness of ethical issues, as well as by our decisions, which ultimately results in some outcome that is favorable to us or unfavorable to us as an organization. Sustainability, social responsibility, and ethics are not necessarily interchangeable. They are very different concepts, obviously with the goal of doing good business regardless of where we are or what type of service or products we offer to consumers. Sustainability is only one aspect of ethical decision making. Corporate social responsibility is a much broader issue which encompasses consumer protection, corporate governance, employee well-being, and maybe many other benefits that companies are offering now for their employees, as well as other customers and suppliers and vendors. Corporate social responsibility, and by relation sustainability, is a major initiative due to stakeholder expectations, which are obviously becoming more and more, and maybe the standards of stakeholders are rising and becoming higher and higher as they expect more from organizations where they buy things from or they do business with. There are 4 reasons social responsibility is an issue for any business or can be an issue in any business. First of all, sustainable business practices can create a competitive advantage for the business. Second, information about modern organization is now readily available through a click of search on Google, right? So you can easily find information about companies. So that available information about various companies and their practices regarding sustainability and social responsibility can be both positive as well as negative, depending on how they're approaching these issues of corporate social responsibility and sustainability in the workplace. Third, organizations can actually use their products in brand identity to create social value, to create higher level of quality, and to continue to increase their consumers' loyalty with their brand, as well as various products or services that they offer. Fourth, companies nowadays are using their sustainable and socially responsible decisions to actually differentiate their specific brands and companies and promote their products compared to others in the industry. So you can gain many benefits actually by being socially responsible in everything that you do. Good luck being sustainable professionals, sustainable employees, sustainable managers, sustainable owners, and sustainable citizens of your city, your state, your country, in this planet. Good luck. Remember that ethical behavior is a skill, and so is sustainability behaviors. It is a skill for everyone. Everyone in the organization needs to police, evaluate, and improve their sustainability muscles in thinking critically towards how they can be sustainable in every single task and every single department and throughout the organization. Everyone should be empowered to manage and guide effectively in their day-to-day tasks in departmental operations. Good luck.